Good morning, everybody. Good morning, fellow freedom fighters, the ones standing up for themselves, their family, their friends, and the ones that will not just stop speaking out because people tell us to stop speaking out, regardless of all the censorship and suppression. This is an older video of mine, but it's going to tie into a new story of Kamala Harris, worst vice president that may have ever lived. Is actually the acronym for my account once I just thought about it. That's kind of funny. But if you really think about it, Joe Biden obviously is just a CGI'd animation with green screen technology and multiple other pieces of technology to make it look like he's actually there. I don't think he actually exists in human form anymore. But this is to show you, this is like a few weeks back where Kamala Harris came out and she literally had like gills on her neck. Now, I don't know if she went away with the fake COVID vacation or had a surgery, but none of that was reported. Like, you would just report that she had some kind of surgery, so that's why she has all these weird markings on her neck. But they never did that, so gonna be suspect of that.
I mean, did someone take a screenshot of the... I mean, she looks like a snake right there.
Snake reality.
Snake reality? Are we living in a snake reality world right now?
Serpent world.
And the top one, she's missing a tooth, which is odd.
Daughter deserves it.
Oh, they tried to save it by going to double screen. She still glitches out.
Will pay, then join us.
She's the only thing that glitches out, not the background behind her.
Get involved these last 55 days. Go to HillaryClinton.com or text JOIN, J-O-I-N.
Would never go to that website.
46. We need volunteers right here in North Carolina. We can't do this without you.
You didn't do it.
Yeah, he did.
And remember, the presidential race isn't the only one.
Oh, you completely disappeared on the other side. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden is dead. Hillary Clinton is a shapeshifter, and I'm not even done. Let me give you who would be next in line as President of the United States. Just think how crazy that is. When Joe Biden, who is dead, when they finally announced that he died, this ex-Montel Williams hoe, who used to be tricked around by Montel, getting fucked on the daily, getting BBC'd, is going to become president. This bitch has gills. She has fucking gills. Yeah, testicle neck, the neck thing. But I had to do this because I had to get it all in one video.
See, Ultra Maga media supporters.
Okay, so watch this. Look at Kamala's neck.
Another aide is departing Vice President Kamala Harris's office just 15 months into the administration.
And you get a real close-up look at this.
Another aide.
Look at that.
What is it?
Come on, man. Someone in the chat give me an explanation on what the fuck that could be. Because I knew a kid when I was little that used to do the choking thing where they like fucking choke themselves for some kind of weird, I don't know, high or I don't know what they were doing, but it was some weird thing. But that's not what this is. These are gill-like features. No logical thyroid condition? I don't think so. I think if she had...
Now, if it was a thyroid condition and she had to have a surgery, or it was just a thyroid condition, and she had to actually just had markings from it. Again, this would be something they would say, but I wanted to show you this. She went to one of the, I think I misspoke and said Uvalde, but I think it was actually from the Buffalo shooting. Now, again, a vice president in this reality, which in this reality that we live in, they prop up these people. They really don't do anything. As you guys know, Joe Biden isn't, one, I don't think he's alive, but two, let's just say he's alive, he's not, in the Oval Office going over legislation. The guy can barely walk. The guy can barely talk. If you see him, it's most usually groping some little child. That's the one thing that I guess spries him up. I don't know. I mean, that's the only time I ever see him moving fast and actually talking. So I guess that's their antidote for that. Just bring him a bunch of little children. But yeah, she goes to this funeral for one of the victims, and she proceeds to just basically do a campaign speech. She glosses it over with as a parent, I just couldn't understand. She has to give all that, but it just didn't make sense that she would go to full. What's with Kamala Harris's weird accent as well? Let's just see what she had to say.
The pain that this family is feeling right now, and the 9 other families here in Buffalo, I cannot even begin to express our collective pain as a nation for what you are feeling in such an extreme way. To not only lose someone that you love, but through an act of extreme violence and hate. And I do believe that our nation right now is experiencing an epidemic of hate. And as we know, and Scripture teaches us,
what do you know about?
When we talk about strength, the strength of personality, the strength of spirit, the strength of faith, I think we all know that a true measure of strength is not based on who you beat down, it's based on who you lift up.
So she decided to use a funeral speech where she could obviously pander to the people, or, if she was an actual human, have human emotion towards people that lost their children. But no, she decides to go with that we're living in an epidemic of hate world, which, let me decode that for you. White people bad. Be scared of white people. KKK's around the corner. Your national organizations, they're popping up everywhere. This is all they're ever talking about. This is why 4 days after this shooting, if you guys didn't catch this, and as I said at Ultra Maga Media, I will always give you information and try to give you information that just other channels won't. People that call themselves conservatives won't. They passed a domestic terror law that's been sitting around since 2021, early 2021. And they need events. As Rahm Emanuel said, as Hillary Clinton repeated, never let a good crisis go to waste. So they were able to pass that domestic terror law in 2022. And the funny thing about that is the last time a domestic terror law was passed in the United States, it was given credit to none other than Joe Biden. Joe Biden in 1993-94 had someone write a bill and put his name on top of it called the Omnibus Terrorist Bill. You can find articles from this from the New York Times from 1994. and it says dead in the water, no one wants this because it had so many things to take away people's civil liberties. But then what happened in 1994, 1995? The OKC bombing. So as soon as that happened, everybody, Republicans, Libertarians, Democrats, it signed unanimously. I don't even think there was one person against it. And what did this do? It allows courts to allow in secret evidence. It allows them to have informants that don't have to name themselves. And as we've seen with the Gretchen Whitmer plot, as we've seen with January 6th, this is being used against those people as just any unnamed source and evidence that doesn't have to be cleared or even really investigated can just be brought in against these folks who have been in jail for nearly 2 years now for entering a Capitol building, except for the informants that were in there and the FBI agents that helped those informants, get people into the building. But in the future, we'll go on a full J6 rant. I would suggest following Julie Kelly on Twitter. She does a very, very good job covering this stuff. But yeah, Kamala Harris using a funeral to, tell us what we're living in, an epidemic of hate. Guess what, guys? The people at the top, the elites, the people that are meeting in Davos, the World Economic Forum, those are the ones that hate us. Those are the ones those are the people with hate in their hearts. We don't have hate in our hearts. I love this community. I love making videos. I love researching and giving you guys this information. So much so that I made this video mobily as I'm walking into work. Appreciate everybody here. Please sub to the channel. Like I said, I've lost 13 channels on YouTube. I'm trying to keep this one. So if you could sub, share, like, all the things that I usually hate saying, but I have to now, I'd appreciate it. And if you'd like to support financially, there'll be links down below as to do that. Maga Media Truth out. And I'll see you guys very shortly in the next one.